The ship scene from Captain America Winter Soldier is a great reminder of the animal Steve Rogers became after World War II. It's one thing to be called a living legend, but seeing Captain America in the flesh, they realize, yo, this dude is who he says he is. As he's shooting the shit with Natasha, getting ready to drop in and save these hostages, my man puts on his helmet all casual and is like, yeah, I'm not going to ask that girl out because, you know, I know she'd say yes if I did. And, you know, I'm just too busy. And my man jumps out the plane. One of Agent Rumlow's dudes is like, did he take a parachute? Rumlow's like, nah, he ain't. And Captain America jumping out this plane without a parachute is wild work, but it's also a reference back to the, I think it was 2001 Captain America, where he came back after 9/11 because he did the same exact thing, except he was talking to Nick Fury. Fury was telling him about this dude he was facing, this terrorist. He's like, yo, Steve, he's a monster. Steve jumped out the plane saying, so am I. Landed on solid ground. This Captain America, he was landing in the water, feet first on a dive, which is, I mean, both are still wild feats. Now, this is a huge ship that they're going to attempt to rescue hostages from. Like, there's a lot of ground to cover. It is not a problem for Steve Rogers because we see this man coming up out the water, climbing on the ship and ready to get busy. Guard walking by and he's the first victim. Steve hops up, gets him in the red rum if you're a Hook fan, Taz Mission if you nasty from ECW, puts dude's lights out. Time to get to work. Steve runs, sees the other guard, tosses his shield, it caves in dude's chest. That man is never going to breathe the same again. The illest part comes next because Steve slides underneath this wire. This dude sees him, but he doesn't see the shield getting a rebound and hitting him across the face from underneath. He's on the ground. He's like, wait, what happened? Steve throws the shield at him again and catches it. There wasn't even a need for that. Steve could have walked up and nailed this dude, kicked him. He's like, no, I'm a stun on him. I would have been too nervous for not catching the shield and then going in the ocean being like, now I gotta go get that. That just goes to show how precise Steve is, how tactical he is, and the way he is cutting through butter with these guards. Steve kicks the next dude so hard that he goes over the edge and he turned his spine into a mozzarella string cheese. That man was paralyzed before he hit the water. They're like, oh shit, Captain America, sweep kick. Next dude, judo throw. Knocks him out with the punch to the face, then a nice roundhouse kick to this dude's dome. He's done. They both done. Everybody's done. Steve is running through this ship like a running back. The form is insane. He knocks a dude over the edge without even breaking his stride. Embarrassing. This man runs down, dive rolls over a rail, nails dude with the big haymaker. Next guard sees Steve's and hey, is the only thing he can get out before Steve kicks dude's chest in and makes him a poster on the wall. Then the guard that just got hit is like, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna take out a knife. That'll make things better. And Steve's like, nah, it's gonna make things worse as he takes this dude down, disarms him, and the other guard is trying to reach for the alarm. Steve throws the knife into dude's hand, pinning him against the wall. And if I'm the guard that got disarmed, I'm like, that did make things worse. As Steve comes up and gives this dude the Jerry buzzsaw kick, knocking him out. And I feel so bad for these other guards on duty because they don't know what's about to happen to them. Steve comes over the top like Jin Sakai. Shield to one dude's face, then Kevin Nash big boot to this dude that sends him across the way into this metal contraption. Steve gave that man whiplash on a hospital bill he won't be able to afford. And what's so embarrassing is Steve doesn't even bother throwing fists against the dudes next to him. He's like, I'm gonna just use my shield and just ping pong off their heads. Worst part about these ass whoopings is that Steve Rogers keeps escalating the levels of embarrassment for them. Because Steve notices the next guard before the guard notices him. Once he turns around, he's like, oh shit, Steve is already hitting a 540 shield toss to dude's chest. Done. Also, you didn't hear your boys getting their asses whooped? Steve then hammerlocks the next dude, whips his hair back and forth, and then just knees him in the head, tosses him over. I'm sorry, but getting put in a hammerlock like it's the beginning of a wrestling match? No, this line of work ain't cut out for you, buddy. Next dude comes in, and I'll give him credit because he's trying to throw them hands with Steve. And Steve's like, let me tell you what's not happening. I'm going to embarrass you. This man, Steve Rogers, hopped up for a headlock takedown. That shit was so pretty, too. Dude gets taken down. His boy sees that, tries to come in at Steve. Steve's like, I'm not even going to hit you with the shield full force. Hold it up to your face. Punch the shield. Dude is done. But the one dude that was waiting for everybody to get their asses whooped is behind Steve, gun on him, telling him, all right, yo, I got you. But he gets shot in the shoulder by Rumlow, who's coming in like, yeah. Because Steve thinks, and Rumlow's like, yeah, whatever, man. Looked like you were having trouble. We all saw you while we were parachuting in. Meaning, yo, Steve did this by the time that they jumped out the plane and before they landed. This man This man, once that super soldier serum hit the system, he was moving different entirely. But put all that with the experience he had in World War II and his adaptability in the field. Like this, one of the best fighters, one of the best invaders to ever do it. Hence why he was on a team called the Invaders. Steve Rogers just goes so crazy. The fight IQ is just so adaptable. It's always a pleasure watching this man work.